What's the deal with Satan? Like, when I was growing up, when I was going to Catholic school, sometimes he was a scary dude. Sometimes it was like actually what people did. Sometimes it was referenced like some sort of evil energy,
Yeah.
or some sort of a worldview. How does the Satan or Lucifer or whatever feature in the Bible?
So in the Hebrew Bible, Satan is a title. It means adversary or something like that, and it is used to refer to anyone who takes an adversarial position against anyone else. So humans are described in the Bible as a Satan. Even the angel of the Lord,
Satan.
when Satan is the Hebrew word, yeah. Even the angel of the Lord, when they confront Balaam in Numbers 22, it says the angel of the Lord stood as a Satan against Balaam.
Sorry, who's
And so
Balaam?
Balaam is the prophet that the king of I think is it Barak? There's a foreign king who
Okay,
hires Balaam to curse Israel in the book of Numbers.
I see. All right, got it.
But and Balaam is like, I'm going to do whatever God tells me to do. And there's a part where Balaam's riding a donkey, and the angel of the Lord with a drawn sword confronts him, and the donkey ends up talking because the donkey can see the angel and Balaam can't. But the angel of the Lord is a Satan. And then in places like Zechariah and the book of Job, the title has a definite article on it, the Satan. And here it seems to be understanding the Satan not as an identity, but as a role that a specific divine being has within the divine pantheon, the divine council, kind of like a prosecuting attorney. So their responsibility is to kind of bring charges against humans and things like that. So in Job, you have the Satan coming before God's throne with all of the children of God, and God saying, "Hey, have you checked out Job? He's a real one." And the Satan, the prosecuting attorney, saying, "I bet I can trip him up." So in the Hebrew Bible, it's not the name of a specific individual; it's just a role or a title. In the Enochic literature, when you have this story of a lead malevolent angel convincing all these other malevolent angels to come down to earth and to have intercourse with human women and to introduce all of evil to humanity, so it's accounting for the problem of evil, then you get this idea of a head malevolent angel, and their names, they have a bunch of different names. Sometimes it's Shemi-Hazah, sometimes it's Azael, sometimes it's Azazel, sometimes it's Melchirashah, sometimes it's Mastema. It's a bunch of different names. And this becomes kind of the template for what we see in the New Testament, where this individual now has the name Satan. And the New Testament is kind of consolidating all of the bad characters from the Hebrew Bible in this divine profile. So Lucifer is not identified as Satan or as an evil divine figure anywhere in the Hebrew Bible or in the New Testament. Lucifer is just a sarcastic demeaning of a Babylonian king. The serpent from the Garden of Eden is not identified as Satan anywhere in the Hebrew Bible, anywhere in the New Testament. That's another post-biblical identification. The New Testament identifies Leviathan as Satan in the book of Revelation, where it's this great seven-headed red dragon who falls from the skies and sweeps down a third of the stars of heaven with their tail. So you're taking a bunch of different figures and you're mushing them together in kind of this grab bag of evil that we're now going to name Satan. And that's kind of how that concept has functioned ever since then. If something is bad, oh, it's satanic. We have the Saturday Night Live church lady. Could it be Satan? And today I get a lot of people on Twitter who accuse me of being satanic. And the same thing on TikTok. I am satanic. And it's because Satan is just the kind of mental exemplar representation of everything that is evil. And you see that already in the New Testament with kind of drawing in all these different figures, and they're all squished together and they're Satan. And so it's a malleable concept that we can just add all this stuff to, and it becomes kind of a very useful little tool to try to draw lines between good and evil in whatever way serves our interests.
Is it similar with demons? Or is that a whole other thing? Because, like half of scary movies are about exorcisms, which is a
Yeah.
rich tradition in Catholicism, I suppose.
Yeah, you don't really have demons in the Hebrew Bible, but there are concepts of spirits that can like penetrate your body and cause you illness and take over your executive functions. Like, they can enter in the ears, and women during menstruation are particularly susceptible to them getting through
Of course.
the integrity of their body. And so you see that in Mesopotamia and Egypt and elsewhere. You don't really see it in the Hebrew Bible, but once you get to the Greco-Roman period, where they've got a lot of concepts of daimonis, you get Christianity kind of adopts the Greco-Roman perspective, and so you get demonic possession within Christianity. And so it's a bit of a different story, but it kind of dovetails nicely with an idea that you see in the book of Enoch, where these malevolent angels came down and they had children with human women, and those children were giants. And the giants had children, and the children were Nephilim. The Nephilim, and the giants died, and when they died, their spirits became the evil spirits that are demons that possess people, and all that kind of stuff. So you do have a narrative way to account for it in Greco-Roman period Jewish literature. But
Thank you so much for listening. If you liked what you heard, please consider subscribing to Smart Cookies on YouTube. What else is there? Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you really liked what you heard, feel free to become my Patreon. No, my patron on Patreon by going to Patreon and becoming my patron. It's really easy. Just type Smart Cookies Podcast in there. You should be able to find me. Last but not least, I have to thank the absolute legends that are my producers on this show, my existing patrons on Patreon: Aida, Mancian, Miha Medved, Medinho, Gordon, Jurechuk, Lorenzo, Mila, Carmen, Taichi, Goran, and Veronica. Without you guys, this show wouldn't exist. So massive thanks. And yeah, see you in the next episode. Bye.